Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the whole, madness and people going crazy about the Wixwell change, right? And specifically the changes that they're doing for the shields when it comes to all areas of the game, right? We have the shield capped now, so certain comps are now working for certain areas of the game, or like certain cheese strategies, such as like, the Yannicka Wixwell comp that used to be the biggest cheese over here is not working anymore, right? Because of the fact that not only can we not increase the shields to a high enough number where it's worth bringing in Yannicka, but also they changed, but also the fact that the taunt does not work. However, the thing that I want to touch on today and maybe do like a quick guide, right, again of how is best you can build a team for the Demon Lord with Wixwell and show you the fact that it's not dead. Right, it's not quite dead. People have been panicking, people have been freaking out, saying that like, oh my god, they're gonna break Wixwell, he's gonna be useless for Demon Lord, he's not gonna work, I'm gonna quit the game, my clan's losing, and all of that, right? I get it, I get the worry, it is scary. However, let me tell you this, first of all, we've been constantly giving feedback and the community manager has been telling us that if this change for the shields impacts it too much on the Demon Lord, right, in a sense of like it becomes pretty much, useless, then they're gonna address it, right? That they constantly get feedback. We constantly talk to Banana. She always told us like, let us know how it works, how it's going and whatnot. So pretty much I want to show you the example right before I before the change goes live, which I think it's due to go live tomorrow. So pretty much this is the team that I usually use, right? This is on the live server. I use Wixwell, Krisk, Demetha, right? It's basically Wixwell plus 2 more buff extenders. Then I have a Brogni in there, and then I'm using Legate TX. I just throw in Legate as my DPS because he's fun, and I pretty much do 367 million damage, or when it's void, it's like 450, right? Depends on affinity, but I do 368. Now, if we go over here and look, for example, let me run the same thing. Let me see what affinity is it. The take it to affinity at no. I did a few runs, but pretty much similar team. Maybe I have a slight swap to Brogni's gear a little bit from the main server because I was testing some stuff out, but everybody else should pretty much have the same thing. And now if we do a quick battle just to see how much damage I still do, it should pretty much be like maybe 30% less, or like 20 to 30. It's not like 50% less. Look at this, 391. So like I said, usually on void I do 450 million, and now with this one I did 391 million. So I lost, what's that, 10, not even 10%, 20% max, right? So it's not that big of a deal from my point of view. So what I can tell you guys is like, relax, the clan boss is still gonna be fine. You might need to tweak a bit, you might need to get a little bit better gear, which from my point of view, honestly, it shouldn't be that you have Wixwell, that's it, Ultra Nightmare is done, it should be a little bit like, okay, you do have him and a couple of champs alongside him, but then you do need to have a little bit of gear. Like, I don't think it's... how is it fun if you get Wixwell in day 30, you have no gear, you just have Wixwell, 2 champions, and that's it, you do Ultra Nightmare. It's, it doesn't seem good for the balance of the game. However, he's still ultra powerful, right? He's still amazing, he's still gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to do it day 30, but you might be able to do it day 60 of playing, right? You just need to get the right gear sets, the right pairings, the right champions, and that's what I want to go on and show you, right? So pretty much this is the team that I usually use. Now, one other thing that I did, okay, this one might be worse because of the affinity, or it might be better, but I tried to pretty much do the most budget thing I could think of, and honestly I didn't build people specific for this. I just threw gear on them, apart from like, Wixwell that I already had built. People that didn't have gear, I threw gear on them. People that had gear, I just let whatever they had on, okay? So this one is basically Wixwell. Then we have Sandler Survivor, which again, buff extender. I put Hellbomb Sprite, I want to put the red in there. Buff extender. Haikatune, just to bring me the increased speed buff so I can, go faster. And then Geomancer as a DPS. Now, let's see how much damage do I do with something like this. Again, no specific gears, no specific builds, just whatever. It's still 40.72 million, right? This is not a speed tune team. This is not a perfectly tuned team. This is just people being thrown in there and them doing whatever. And it's a 2 kill Ultra Nightmare. Like, you know, I believe this to be pretty good. Now, let me show you the presets that I use on this team. So pretty much I have Wixwell open with the A3 so that I put increased defense and intercept, then prioritize the A2. You want to keep extending those shields, extending those buffs, and putting the increased attack. Sandless Survivor, prioritize the buff extension. Hellborn Sprite, again, don't use the A2, just the A3. Keep prioritizing the buff extension. Geomancer, I turn off the A2, I just want him to use the A3, right? Actually, I should leave maybe the A2 on. Should maybe leave the A2 on so that he removes that increased attack. And then Haikatun, I turn the A3 off, I just want Haikatun to be doing the A2. And look at this piece, 229, 226, 213, 211. No damage build in there, no damage build, whatever stats, whatever. It's like nobody's built strongly, nobody's built with high high stats. Let me show you exactly their build. So Wixwell is running reflex plus 2 pieces of refresh and then perception. The stats again for him, I wanted to make him to be the fastest because I wanted to do the A2 as fast as possible. And the masteries, I don't even have masteries on him, right? I don't even have masteries. You don't really need them. You can obviously go and give him War Master. He's going to do more damage. And I have 4-star blessing on him. You only need 1 star. If you have 1 star and you have Brimstone on him, perfect. If you have somebody else in the team that's a legendary, well, that makes it even easier. If you throw in a ninja, you know what? Let me see. Do I have my ninja build? Let me just drop Geo and bring in ninja. Okay, ninja is let me just throw, what am I missing? 2, 4, 6. Yes, let me give him a crit damage glove with crit rate from perception. See what I can do. I want to see, can I do 1 key with that? This one, is that okay? Okay, 100%. There we go. Okay, let's see what I do if I drop Geo and I bring my ninja in there, right? Because most people should have ninja. Maybe not 5-star awakened, but still most people should have ninja. Let's see how much. Do I 1 key with this? What do we think? Do I 1 key with ninja in there as a proper DPS or not? Let's see. Okay, still not a 1 key, 49.01. But the reason for that is, I'm going to show you why this is not a 1 key. It's because of the fact that people are not built how they're supposed to in this team and they're losing their shields too fast. Still, it's 49 million, it's still a good team. Now, let me show exactly everybody else. So again, no masteries. If I had War Master, that would be more damage. Again, Ninja, I don't even have War Master on Ninja. If I had War Master on Ninja, 100%, this would have been better, a 1 key. Haikatun, I have War Master, but then, again, look at what gear I have on Haikatun, right? Look at the gear, barely any defense, barely any speed. Sandlash, she's the one in the shield set, again, barely any speed, like just random stats. Do have War Master, and then War Master on Hellborn Sprite. But again, I just threw a toxic, whatever. It's not ideal. So how do you perfectly build this team? Well, the easiest way to try and do a cheese team, I guess, with Wixwell is to try and have Wixwell plus 2 buff extenders. In my case, I have Sandlash, Survivor, and Hellborn Sprite. You can have any other 2. If you have Krisk, that's amazing. Krisk is going to be 10 times better, right? Because Krisk also brings increased speed, it brings ally protection, it's going to make it so much easier. However, you don't need Krisk, right? You can use any other buff extender just to complete that key role in there. Now, the next thing that I specifically used Haikatun in the team for the increased speed. You know what? Let's try another quick thing before I continue this. Let's try and drop Haikatun. Let's say I don't have the increased speed. Let me see how is it gonna work with 2 DPS, right? Wixwell, 2 buff extenders, and 2 DPS. Am I gonna want? This is like on the fly, right? I'm just testing stuff on the fly. See, this is a thing that you can notice. Not having that increased speed makes it worse. Even though I have two DPS, my team is not rotating fast enough. I'm not extending those shields and buffs fast enough, which makes it problematic. So that's why having somebody like a Haikatun, which doesn't have to be Haikatun, it can be anybody else, having somebody like her in the team could be really good because it brings you the increased speed. Increased speed means you move a lot faster, which means you have the chance to extend those shields faster with Wixwell. Now, the way that I have it here, I could, for example, it might be better if I just do the following. If I put, what's her name again? If I put Haikatun in the lead, that might be better because that means I'm gonna have that extra speed on everybody, and this should make it better. But pretty much anybody that brings increased speed and any other useful buff in the team is going to be really good and mandatory. See, I did a bit more damage now. But anybody that brings increased speed is going to be really good in there because, again, if you have that increased speed, everybody's going to move faster, you're going to extend the buffs faster, you're going to increase the shields faster, and it's going to make it easier. Now, one of the key things that you want to keep in mind is you want to have somebody in a shield set, right? Because when Wixwell extends buffs on the A2, he extends the buffs from his increase, from his shield that he places over here, but also from the shield set, right? So having somebody in a shield set is pretty much mandatory. And then the last one is gonna be just having, you know what, just having a strong DPS. So somebody like a ninja, but then one key thing to keep in mind, try to have everybody to have really high defense, right? Try to go over the 3,500 defense, because that means they're going to be able to sustain those shields faster. Like, I don't know, as an example, maybe you drop you could even try maybe Toragi, not kidding. So as an example, the ideal things would be, again, let's have a look who brings us the increased speed, right? So if you look people that bring increased speed, even Estrid, but she might not be the best because she gets extra turnover here, so I would not suggest her. Obviously, Sifi, Chris, we're not going to talk about those. Let's see, who else do we have in here? If you have somebody like an Elva, that's amazing, right? She brings increased speed, block debuffs, she would be perfect in there. Then let's maybe look at some epics. You know what? Maybe even somebody like a Helmut could work, because Helmut brings you increased speed, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage. That's 3 buffs, which means Wixwell can extend 3 of those buffs in there. That can make it a lot better, because the shield should be grown. Faster. You know what? I'm just keep doing this. I'm sorry if I drive you guys crazy, but I'm just trying to see. You know what? How can I do it to make it work perfectly? But it's still not a hard team to build. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a hard team. If only you can find Helmut. Where's some? You know what? Let me go by faction because it's easier. He's over here. There we go. And I guess let me make him open with that. I'm not sure if I need to turn it off afterwards. Maybe, I don't know. Again, this is not perfectly tuned. I'm just throwing people in there and just testing it out to see how it goes, and then, you know, seeing how it goes. See, 51 million. It's pretty much the same principle. But again, key things to keep in mind with Wixwell. Have Wixwell in the team, have 2 buff extenders, have somebody that brings you the increased speed buff, right? Because that's gonna help you. If that person brings increased speed, brings you something else, right? So like I said, Elva, increased speed and block debuffs. You know what? Vergis could be interesting, but I think Vergis only puts increased speed on himself, so he might not be the best. Apothecary could work. Tagowar, because he does bring increased speed over here. Somebody like a Claude, increased speed, increased accuracy. Claude could be amazing, because you know what? He also brings decreased crit rate. Over here, he brings healing if you need it, and then shields. So this team still works, guys, right? So I would say to everybody, don't panic. This team still works. It just does, like, I think 20% less damage. It's not that big of an impact. And honestly, if you have Wixwell, that's one of the easiest way to get to 1Q Ultra Nightmare. Just like that. And you know what, it's basically easy sales. Just like I said, follow the things that I told you. Try to get everybody over 200 speed. You know, if you can get them 230, 240 speed, have them like 4,000 defense, just to make them survive. If you can squeeze in the team an ally protection, even that would be 10 times better, because ally protection does bring you some other stuff. Do keep in mind, somebody like a Sandlash only brings ally protection when somebody drops under 50% HP, so might not be the best. But maybe even somebody like a Nia. You know what? Nia could be amazing in the team. Throw Nia in the team. She brings ally protection, strengthen, and then with this one she resets the leader. You know what? Let me see. Again, I'm sorry if I'm driving you guys crazy. I'm just trying different things, because again, I might just randomly see something that works. That's I might be like, okay, that's amazing. So maybe having Nia in the team could actually be perfect, because Nia could keep resetting Wixwell, and he should keep doing the A2 as often as possible. Is this better without increased speed? No, pretty much the same. I think the increased speed is still needed, and I also think I don't have Nia with I don't think I have Nia with, what's it called? Yeah, no masteries on Nia. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at this. I just spoke too much about this one. But again, I want to emphasize, I want to stop, I want to say this again. It's not broken, okay? Wixwell is not useless now. He's still amazing for the Demon Lord. You should still be able to do it. You might just not be doing that, I don't know. Instead of doing 400 million, like I said, you might do 350 like I showed. But Wixwell still working. Your clans are not going to disband because of the Demon Lord. You should all be fine. But anyway, this is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.